Hello, besties! How are you tonight? Welcome to the ultimate destination for everything Bravo. Join me as we dissect the drama, spill the tea, and uncork the juiciest gossip from your favorite reality TV shows. Welcome to Martin with Eddie. I'm excited that finally we got Bravo Sundays back with the premiere of Atlanta season 15 and Summer House, Martha's Vineyard. And we're gonna be talking about both. I have opinions about both. I'm excited about both. Both episodes, from my perspective, deliver and gave so much. So we are going to be going over all the stuff that happened on the episodes, and I'm gonna also give you my opinion of the latest breaking news from Atlanta, which is Kim Zolciak and Kroy's divorce. We're gonna talk about it briefly because it just broke out, and I want to know you guys' opinions on it. I have opinions, and we will definitely um, get to the bottom of it all. What happened? Funny part is that the news also broke out the same day that we found out that there is over $1 million owed to the IRS from them. So it's very weird the timing of the whole thing. I want to start with Atlanta. The ladies of Atlanta, our favorite beaches, are back, and they are clocked in. I'm happy when a cast, it finally feels like they know their motion, they know their dynamics. Last season we got introduced to Sonia, and we were trying to figure out if it was going to work out or not. She's finally in her own, um, and everybody is delivering. I think every single person on the show deserved to be back. One person was missing this whole entire episode. It was Drew. We found out that Drew was not present at the party. You know, Sonia's husband's birthday party because she was having issues with her family, some kind of like problem, some kind of health issue, if I'm not wrong. And I have an opinion about Ralph not going. We will get to that part when we will get to the end. But the episode starts with Cherie and Martel. I don't know about you guys, but I do not trust Martel for the simple reason that when he saw the chef that it was going to prepare a special dinner for them, in his mind, the first thing that came to his mind was a threesome. And it's like I'm not against threesomes. I'm like, if a relationship is open about it, if the relationship has created those boundaries and they know that they're able to handle the pressure of bringing somebody else into your home for that type of stuff, that's cool. I think it's great, and sometimes it's good to try, I guess. But it seems like in his mind that was what he was going to get. First red flag. I also feel like, as we know, it seems like he sent a DM to Kenya. So many red flags. I don't know about you guys. I don't know how you guys feel on Martel. I don't trust him. It seems like Cherie is open, has opened the door for love after last season's embarrassment of waiting for her ex to show up, and he didn't show up until the finale episode, and it was just a hot mess. So I want Cherie to find a great guy. I think she has dated way too many losers, and I mean, she's a great person. She seems to be a fun woman, so she should find love. I think everybody should find their partner. But Martel is not giving me partner, you know, qualities. He's giving me more like player quality, and maybe that's what Cherie wants right now. Maybe Cherie doesn't want somebody to build a life with. Maybe she just wants to have fun, and that's also okay. But based on what we saw last night on the first episode, she might be interested on him in more than just a playful way. One person that keeps clocking Cherie every single time that she can is Candy. We saw Candy finally coming back and bringing the candy coated click. We saw them last night. It makes me really happy to see faces that we haven't seen in a long time back to the show. It's like a big full circle, right? Um, a lot of people complained when that happens in other franchises, but I like when you see faces that we haven't seen in a very long time make appearances on the show because it brings that sense of nostalgia. We grew up watching these shows, so I'm happy that she is bringing her click back to the show. I'm happy that she has them around to Kiki because they are shady. They just as shady as the cast. And I was laughing when they were saying that Cherie was not selling anything, that her website crashed, and the only thing that was happening was that Cherie can use that as an excuse uh, that her website crashed because so many people were interested on her products. I want to know, you guys, this happened last season on the finale, and I want to know if you bought anything from Cherie, from She by Shirei. I want to know if you bought anything from Shirei because I don't know anyone who has. And last time I checked, people were complaining that it was design stolen directly for Shein and from Amazon and stuff like that. So I wonder if they are right. Maybe nobody bought anything from She by Shirai. But Candy said like she didn't want to pay people to build her business. She said it. She said like, hey, she lost the train of selling products. Cherie Shirei had the opportunity to sell a T-shirt, a simple T-shirt with "Who's gonna check me, boo" for many years. She had the opportunity to create merchandise with iconic lines that she had said, like, for example, "I like the beat," but I don't think she knows how to capitalize on her quick jobs and her quick reads. All the housewives that are not looking into getting into fashion, they are quick to release their t-shirts because they know the fans really want that. They want to have that logo t-shirt with the housewife quote, and Shireh had that. So I feel like Candy is right. I think Candy, when she said that Sheree is not quick when it comes to business, and that she loses track of how to make money out of her being a housewife, is true. I mean, she by Sheree took how long to have any item out, and till this day, I don't know anyone who have bought it. And Erin just said something right here that is really true. I didn't check out her website and cute stuff, but overpriced. That was a consensus of many fans. I think Shirek was trying to sell, yoga pants for like $200, and I mean, Shiba Shirek is not Lululemons or like a sport brand, to charge those prices, and the fan base is willing to pay. But it seems to me that she was trying to squeeze the last freaking dime from Shiba Shirek by hiking the prices of the items. I don't think she should be selling a yoga pant for $247. Because if that's the case, I would rather buy sweatpants from an actual brand the make athletic clothing, like whatever you want to wear. I like to support the housewives. I'm the kind of person who has bought like books and whatever. If I mean I can't show you right now because they're like all over the place. But I have the books and I have the Andy Clubhouse Shasky in the corner. So I appreciate to get those like little memorabilia from the shows, but I'm not going to pay almost $300 for a hoodie and pants. I mean, not gonna do that. I mean, not. I mean, I'm sorry, Sheree, I'm not buying that at all. And I agree with Candy. Candy was right. I mean, she needed to make just logo t-shirts with the quotes, and she would make so much money. People on eBay, I mean, what's it called, not eBay, the website where people Etsy, people on Etsy sell those t-shirts like freaking pancakes, like one after the other. I seen it. I actually bought a sweater that I wore for BravoCon with a Sutton quote, and it was a hit during BravoCon. People ask me all the time, "Where did you get that?" And it's crazy to me that somebody who seems to be so um, business focused, like Shirai, she hasn't found her footing in merchandising herself. We see housewives with skincare products and I don't know, perfumes and whatever, clothing, and creating a skincare line that takes a lot of work. I mean, yeah, you just put your name on it technically, but um, the process to me seems to be more difficult than just literally sitting in a computer and creating a basic t-shirt with a funny quote. You know what I'm saying? So my advice for Shreya is that she should focus more on what a fan will buy than maybe just the masses. It seems to me like she's trying to sell to like people who don't even watch Housewives, and that's not her market. That's my opinion. I don't know. One thing that I noticed too is that Candy Candy's quick to check people, quick, even her friends, because Moniera, she was introduced as, finally as a friend of, like an official one with confessionals and also cast photo. I love Moniera's look in her confessional. Like she looks absolutely beautiful. But Candy checked her and clocked her as soon as she walked through that door. And I like that about Candy. She was like, "You sat your ass down with freaking Marlo and talked about me and all this stuff." So, yeah, she was questioning her friendship. Even though Moniera said, like, "Hey, I was just trying to get both sides of the story." That's valid too. Like I'm the same way too. I need to know. I need to know what's happening. I need to know uh, what is triggering the issue. Maybe I can get my little mess of an opinion on it. That's all fair. But the conversation that Moneta sat down with Marlo about was, I think, more than just a kiki moment. It was when Marlo was going through the whole nephews controversy, like using the nephews or like kicking them out of the house. So the topic of the conversation, I feel like Moneta should have just walked away and not get involved in that one. So yes, Candy's right. I mean, I'm happy that she clocked her, and I hope that Moneta sticks around because I think she is messy, and also she could be a good fun friend for Candy. But I just don't want her to flip flop through the whole season because I've seen that happening a lot in the housewife universe. I see friends flip flopping, friendship just changing, but in a very drastic way, not in an organic way. You know, um, like for example, today we found out that the ladies of Salt Lake City are traveling uh, to Bermuda for their first international trip. Thank God, and it's the reason because Jen Shah is in jail, so they can finally travel. Um, it seems like there is issues between Lisa Barlow and Whitney now, because now Lisa is friend with Meredith again, and she's becoming friendly with Heather. So now it's Whitney the one that is kind of like on her own island. That transition right there seems to me forced. It doesn't make any sense. So when I said like I hope Moneta sticks to to Candy is because they seem to have a long ass friendship, and I don't want that friendship to be ruined because they want to like play like devil's advocates for somebody else and just change the dynamic or of their friendship. I'm happy though the Moneta found somebody for Kenya to hang out. Like I saw this guy. I mean, his name is like Roy, and I mean, the guy is good looking, and Kenya said that she was having a good time. So yeah, I'm here for all of that. That's why I love Atlanta. Atlanta has something very interesting that not other franchise has. Their connections and their friendships are so real. They go outside of the show. They go beyond just being cast members. It feels organic. It feels fun. It's super shady sometimes. It's super, the reads from Atlanta are unique and definitely uh, top tier franchise. And they seems to work. I don't think we haven't gotten to the point that where Atlanta feels dark, like Beverly Hills and New Jersey, where it's becoming kind of toxic to be part of those fandoms. But Atlanta, I think I mean, we all enjoy Atlanta for what it is. We all take sides, obviously, but it doesn't feel like the sides have become a reason um, to create such a division between fans. Maybe that's just my opinion. Maybe because I truly enjoy Atlanta and I watch Atlanta as a fan and somebody who appreciates pretty much every single lady on that cast. Obviously, I have my favorites, aka Kenya. I love Kenya. Kenya to me is just the queen of the reads, the queen of the shade, and I love her for that reason. In that conversation between her, Moneta, and Candy is when we find out that Martel, you know, sent her a DM on her Instagram, and that's why I feel like he's not that guy. Even though, based on what she said on Watch What Happened Live, that DM happened before he was dating uh no Sheree, but she wanted to tell Sheree about it, and Sheree made a comment on Instagram saying that uh, she should have told her before, not just wait for the show to start. But hey, that wouldn't be the first time that happened in the Bravo universe. I do believe that a lot of times when they have that type of information, it's not like they're holding it because they choose to hold that information from the other cast member. I do believe that somehow production advised the housewives to keep something to bring up on camera so they can use it for a storyline. But at the same time, I do believe that there has to be some topics where they need to address it off camera before starting filming, because some of the conversations and some of the situations where the housewife find out on camera about some heavy topic is what turned the franchise a little unwatchable. Look what happened in Potomac. I love Potomac. I love my little Potomac. I love Candace. I'm a huge fan of Karen Huger. Yes, um, I believe that either production or, I mean, Giselle is different. She likes to produce herself, you know. But the fact that she brought up the whole Christian on camera, it seems, you know, that it was planned. The problem with that is that the conversation, the topic of the conversation was quite heavy. I mean, alluding to sexual harassment is not a light topic or something that um, should be talked about on camera in such a way that might hurt the other person's reputation if that was not the intention. So that's why I believe the Candace broke the fourth wall and said like, "Are we doing this?" and look into the camera because she knew, she in that moment she knew that this was planned, either by Giselle herself, because like I said before, she likes to produce everything, and or by production. So remember, when we watch Housewives, I think I said it before, I went to school for filmmaking. So when I watch Housewives, I see it from both perspectives. As a show showing real situations from people who know each other, but also as a TV show that needs to be produced to create situations. So for Kenya to hold that information from Shere, I do believe that could be a way for production to create this animosity between the two of them, because as we see it now on Twitter, the girls are fighting. The girls are going at it. Candy is fighting with Shere. Shere is fighting with Kenya, and it seems to be like everybody's going at it on Twitter. But thank God, when it comes to Atlanta, I feel like we all enjoy that. It's not like New Jersey, perhaps, that after so many years, you feel like the family dynamics are creating more damage to the cast as in their real life outside the show than anything else. Talking about family dynamics, Sonia's family, I love her family. I think she has such a beautiful family. Um, but we had Shari, her sister, she had a confessional. She had her own confessional. I was surprised when she had one. Um, I think it's like the first time that I noticed a member of the family to have their own confessional without us expecting it. Like I seen people from different franchises, for example, the Judas girls, like Gia, you know, she has her own confessional, and and we've seen in Salt Lake City with Brock's. Um, so it's like it's been done before, but you can expect those to happen. You know, this time when she had her own confession, I was like, I'm here for this because I want to know how she feels being part of Sonia's life, not only as her sister, but she also worked for her too, and she lived in her own. She lived in Sonia's roof on her roof too as well. So there has to be some issues right there. And as we know, there is. It seems like the fact that Sonia has such a busy schedule is affecting the family as a family dynamic because her whole entire family work for her. Uh, Sonia made a comment making it seem like she's doing a favor for them by giving them jobs and keeping them busy. Um, so she feels like they have to maybe like treat her as the boss, perhaps. And that seems like it's not sitting well with Shari. Um, Also because her husband is Sonia's assistant because she want him to make connections and be able to start working in real estate. But honestly, you guys, one of the worst mistakes that anyone can make is to mix business with family. You don't do that because money is an issue that breaks families. We've seen it many times. Once again, New Jersey. Um, and it seems like there are some feelings in this family that are unresolved. That maybe that's why Shari has her own confessional, because it's going to be an ongoing conversation this whole entire season. You know, um, but like I said before, Sonia's family is just beautiful. I like the dynamic. I like their energy, the way that they seems to always be eating together. Perhaps, like I love that. I love a family who eats together all the whole entire time. Um, I grew up in a family who we didn't have the same schedule. Perhaps we didn't have those like family dinners that most people have, where you sit with like the whole entire family and have conversation. We had that maybe twice a week, especially on the weekends, because my mother will always be working, my dad will be working. I was always like with the nanny or my grandmother. So, you know, growing up, we didn't have that. So when I see that on TV, I really appreciate it because it shows how family who do it have like a fun dynamic. Like I mentioned before, we did have that, but maybe like once a week, twice a week on the weekends when mother was home. And talking about mother, I want to talk about Marlo as a mother auntie. I don't know how to. I want to mix mother and aunt. Aunter? I don't know. uh, Last season, we know that she had a very, I would say, controversial, perhaps, storyline with her nephews. Viewers had many questions. The cast members had many questions of about their situation and how she was handling having this young man in her house, the way that it seemed like she kept them out for a period of time, and how some viewers and even some cast members felt like she was using them for some kind of storyline. The first scene that she has with them is them making some kind of like dinner for her, like preparing stuff for her. My question is, do you feel like it was sincere or it was just a PR move from Marlo to paint the idea that they are in a better place and those accusations were false, and once again have like a storyline with her nephews? I'm like right in the middle. Like I want to believe that it's sincere. I want to believe that she truly cared for her nephews and they do love her for, taking care of them and provide them for them. But at the same time, the scene felt so contrived. What do you guys think? That's just my opinion. I feel like that particular scene was contrived. Maybe because we already have this preconceived idea that she was using them in the last season. Maybe that's what it is. But I want to believe that she truly loved those kids. I mean, it's her family, so I'm sure that she loved them. But is it sincere the way that she's trying to portray this new family dynamic on the show? That's my question. So if you have any answers, you know where to go. You can go to my Instagram, you can go to my Twitter, you can DM me. I want to know your opinion. You can leave your comment right here on the live chat that we're having right now. We we had the beginning of the party at the end of the episode. We just saw a small portion of it, and we know it's going to get really explosive. one thing that I noticed is, like I said before, Drew was not present at that party because she had issues, like, family issues. And one thing that I did not like at all was Rolf saying that, that he was there to like be with her friend, you know. And I'm gonna tell you one thing. I'm gonna tell you one thing. I believe that he should have been with Drew. And if he wanted to, show up for his body, he can easily send a birthday card in the mail, an email. He can send flowers. He can send a box to Sonya's house. When he said something around this, he said she has a lot going on with family. I need to make sure I show love and support to my boy, though. That was really icky to me, period. Because why would you do that? You know what it's giving me though? It's funny, the similarities with Tom Sandoval and Ariana and Vanderpump Rules. In the last episode when they were talking, and Lala told Ariana that Sandoval stay longer when she was asking him to go because she found out that her grandma passed away, and he decided to stay at the party with Rachel. That's the same energy that is given, where you put somebody else above the needs of your partner and being with the person that you allegedly love when they are going through family issues. So Ralph was giving full on Tom Sandoval's energy last night. Everybody noticed it, you know. Another situation at that party that I'm still confused. I'm confused. It's this new girl, Corny. When she was talking to Marlo at her house before the party, she had this big energy towards Candy, saying that, oh, she said that she didn't know me and we know each other. We run into the same circles, and she keeps saying that she doesn't know me, you know? And then she went and talked to her, and Candy checked her immediately, saying, like, I don't know you, bitch. You know? Um, that fight and the reason for Corny to come so hard at Candy doesn't make any sense to me. It seems so forced. Like she has an issue with a non-issue issue. Like there's no issue there. Oh, she said that she doesn't know me. Literally, Candy pulled and Mariah Carey on Corny, and she said, "I don't know her." Literally, Corny got Mariah by Candy. And that's why Corny's mad. Like, doesn't make any fucking sense. And it's given doing too much for attention. I mean, Marlo kept saying, I'm so happy that it's not me the one with issue with Candy this time. But I'm gonna stay here and just spy the conversation. Just kinda like side eye what they're doing and like try to figure out what they're talking about. I'm like, who are you lying, Marlo? Because even though Corny is the one that has issue with Candy, the issue doesn't make any sense. And you know that you broke Corny as your mouthpiece to go after Candy because you're mad that Candy is doing some spoof reels on Instagram about you and Sheree. You know, um, yeah, they the fact that Marla's trying to make people believe that she's not involved in this Corny versus Candy situation is really dumb because, to be honest, who brought Corny into the picture? Who brought her to fight with Candy for saying that she doesn't know her? That was Marlo. And that's my opinion. That's what I'm saying. And like I said before, next week's episode is gonna be more explosive because it's the continuation of in the big fight between Martel and Kenya that is a result of Kenya telling Shure about the DM. So that's gonna be a very interesting episode. I like when everyone is working for their paycheck. This episode gave me everything that I need to as a first episode for a new season. The dynamics are there. The energy is there. The shade, the pettiness, everything that makes Atlanta fun and watchable compared to other shows, it's there. So I'm looking forward to season 15. I'm excited. I'm here for Kenya. I'm here for Candy. And let's see how this season goes. If you have a favorite, let me know who that person is. If you have a favorite moment from this episode, let me know by leaving a comment on my Instagram, DM me on Twitter. You know where to find me as Martini with Eddie. Let's talk about real quick about this whole Kim Zolciak and Kroy divorce. Do I think it's shocking? Not really. I mean, a lot of people are like, "Oh my gosh, I wasn't expecting them to get divorced." I'm like, one thing that breaks a family quicker than anything else is financial issues, and as we found out today, they owe $1 million+ on taxes to the IRS. They've been having money issues for a while, and that's the reality. I mean, the news were exclusively, dropped by DMZ, or at least that's what I found it when I saw it online, and they were saying that that they were married for 11 years, they have 4 kids together, and it has a lot to do with the financial issues. Um, Kim said that she is filing for divorce because there's no hope for reconciliation. You and obviously she followed with the typical "we want privacy" or whatever. But I'm like, no, you want privacy, and that everybody's like looking at anything coming from Atlanta because the show premiered last night. Like the timing of this news are not coincidence. This is not like, oh my gosh, who leaked this news? No. Last night, Atlanta came back to Bravo. So it's trending right now. It's trending. It's like the top trend from Bravo shows right now. Then you have the fact that today, the news about them owning money to the IRS leaked. And then, like an hour later, the divorce. It seems too calculated for me. It seems to me like she doesn't want the privacy that she's looking after, because if she wanted to, she would have either kept the divorce a little on the low or be smart enough to wait when the show is not trending. All I've been thinking about is, where's the scooter? Where is the scooter? Who was taking the scooter when they decided to like divide their access? Who's taking the scooter when they divide the access? I'm telling you, that's one of my favorite, fights between Nini and Kim Zolciak. The whole scooter thing um and the and the parking space. That was hysterical um when Nini called Kim Zolciak the parking police. I laugh of that. I want Kim Zolciak back if and only if somehow Bravo mends their relationship with Nini, so we can have another moment like that, because that Kim Zolciak versus Nini fight is always iconic, and I miss them together. That was really good. Um, talking about new Bravo shows. Let's talk about Summer House, Martha's Vineyard. If you haven't watched it, go to Peacock immediately. Watch it. This first episode was so good. I said it before. I'm a huge fan of non-housewife shows. I always give them the chance. I always watch the full season and I make my own opinions based on what I'm watching. And based on this first episode alone, this show has a lot of potential. So I'm asking you to please, please do not sleep on Summer House Martha's Vineyard. The cast is absolutely beautiful. They already are friends. At least most of them are friends. You know, they know each other from work, they know each other from life. Like, for example, Jasmine is friend with Shanice and Jordan from their time when they worked as Playboy bunnies at the Playboy Club. So they have a long friendship, you know. Bria was also part of that clique, but Jasmine has issue with Bria, or she didn't know much about her. And the drama that they're having right now, it's so high school that it's amazing. I'm I'm team Milo. Milo is Bria's emotional support dog, and I don't care. I have three dogs, and even though they don't travel with me all the time because it's we have three big huskies. So when I have the chance to take at least one of them, the one that is my emotional support dog, people better deal with it. I love my dogs more than I love people. Period. There's no question mark. There's no um, excuses or anything else explanation to do. I love my dogs more than people. Period. The end. I'm sorry, mother, but it's true. So for that reason, I'm Team Bria and Team Milo on this whole Jasmine versus Bria fight over the dog. As soon as Bria walked into that house, Jasmine put a target on the dog. Yes, Bria could have easily let them know, but at the same time, they can say nothing because that's her emotional support dog, and you can't deny having your support with you. Like you can take your dog anywhere you want to. That's just literally a legal thing, you know. So um, I'm Team Bria and Team Milo. Period. The end. I came into the episode and I even posted on Twitter that I was going to be Team Jasmine and and Silas. Yeah, that's her husband. Um, because I like a fun married couple. I like when people are married and they still know how to have a good time. Jasmine said this is the first time of them going to the vineyard as a married couple, so they still have that fun, exciting, outgoing, adventurous lifestyle, even though they're married. People take notes because I know many people that go from being super fun to be super boring because they get married. You don't have to lose yourself. You don't have to change who you are because you got married. Doesn't make any sense. Have fun. You're still young. Come on. So I like the dynamic, but I'm having issues with the whole dog fight because it's not that big of a deal. No one in the house besides Jasmine has an issue with Milo. So the fact that she kept bringing this up is giving Poppygate from Beverly Hills, where the issue is a non issue. But I like it because it's petty. There was a moment when Jasmine and Mariah sat and called Bria, and they were telling her the reason why they didn't want the dog around or why she should have told them. And even Jasmine said like there's poop in the backyard, and Bear's like, no, bitch, I picked up the poop. And production did that. They showed the receipt. She actually did pick up the poop. So there's no poop. There's no poop. So there's no issue. There's no issue. Ari. Oh, I mean Amir. Amir. I'm trying to remember the names because it's a brand new show, so I just want to make sure that I'm saying right. Amir. He is half black, half Lebanese from Texas, and he is 100% hot. Oh my god! I had never been more interested in learning a Arabic language because he was asked if he speaks Arabic, and he spoke in Arabic, and I was like, I don't know what you said, but yes, sir. I like this cast. As you can see, there is a an interesting dynamic. Like I said, Amir said on the show last night that he grew up in a environment with very little black people, so he is excited to finally be surrounded by people that has some similar backgrounds. He mentioned that growing up he never had like a fade because his mom, who is Lebanese, cut his hair. He didn't know how to take care of his hair and his skin, because it's true. It's true. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that come with growing up in an environment that you don't learn if you are not exposed to you know your same kind, and he was very open about it. I'm happy that this conversation is being done on the show because it reminds us as viewers that no matter what your race is, sometimes you do have different path to walk because of the places where you grew up. We've seen it also in Summer House, um, the regular Summer House from the Hamptons, between Gabby and Sierra, where Sierra felt in some kind of way about Gabby because Gabby seems to come from a nice family or like a rich family, and going to a predominantly white school. So her life experience is different. So for that reason, the way that she expresses her thoughts and opinions are different, you know. Um, but that doesn't take away the fact that they do have something in common that is very important to um, to understand. That is, being part of the same race. Another person that I'm very, very interested on getting to know more is Preston. He is a gay man who is very opinionated, like myself. And like he said, he doesn't say everything that is on his mind because, yeah, and I'm the same way too. If I say what is in my mind all the time, I will get in trouble. But he's also like the voice of the reason of the group. Like everything that he says is like poetry. It's like very deep, but also understandable. Like, some people goes into these like rants with like big words that you don't understand, and you're trying to put like the idea together, and still you just can't do it because it's hard to comprehend. But he explained his feeling and his ideas in such a way that to me it's like, oh my gosh, like this guy is so smart, but I know what he's talking about. I felt so connected with him during the episode, and I like that. I like when you are watching a new show and immediately you connect with a member of the cast. I connected with two of them. I connected with Amir's, experience and way of behaving, and also with Preston's um, interest on talking about important stuff when the time is right. Because Preston was also shady. He was shading Bria when she walked in, and to me that was the shade of the night. She called her like a um, he said that she remind him of someone who spent 2 hours to prepare themselves for Miss USA but never make it. And that was freaking hysterical. I was dying laughing. More cast members that we saw, Alex and Nick, they are both Kappas, and which is a fraternity. And also we have Silas and Preston being from Alphas, and they explained that the Alphas were the first uh, black fraternity and the oldest one. I noticed that though. I noticed that about this show, which I like. As they talk about their own experiences, they also explain very important historical issues within the black community that maybe for me as a non-black person is interesting because I don't know this stuff. You know, it doesn't come like a knowledge that somebody is giving to you. Like it's not like I don't know. We don't talk about this stuff in school. Like it's not like we have that experience, you know. So when I watch a show, and I said it before, I watch Bravo obviously for the fun, but I appreciate when there is a sense of culture where you can actually learn. So that's why I like when there are housewives that are from different cultural backgrounds that bring their culture into the show in some kind of way, either a party, either an event. They talk about it, you know, like we saw Crystal sharing her New Year's party, Chinese New Year's party with the cast. Uh, we saw it last season on Salt Lake City a couple of times. Jen Shah sharing her Polynesian background, and we saw also, um, Angie K talking about her Greek culture. You know, also I'm trying to remember more. And I just really I like to talk about that sense of culture um, in within Housewife. My favorite Jersey girl, Jennifer Aiden, when she talks about her Turkish background, which by the way, I mentioned it before, I'm still upset by the response that some people had on Twitter, and also the response to some of the housewife talking about why she insert her culture into Teresa's baby shower. I mean, bridal shower. But it seems to me like it sounds very judgy. And when somebody's sharing their culture, especially when they are either first generation or immigrants, it's a form of love. And back to the show, Summer House, Martha's Vineyard, they are talking about what Martha's Vineyard means to the black community. They talking about how wealthy black people have properties over Martha's Vineyard. How they're they were part of like the first black fraternity in America. So all the stuff that they talk about during this show, to me, is very important to learn because, like I said before, we don't. I mean, was never told any of this stuff. So I enjoy learning new things while I'm enjoying a show. And obviously there is drama. The last moment was between uh, Jordan and and Jasmine's husband because he was judging her for being out, and she was saying, "Hey, I'm an adult. I take care of myself. I go out and I'm always aware of my surroundings." And I like that about a woman who said, "You know what? I'm making my point. I'm strong enough. I can defend myself. I don't need a man to protect me. Period." She clocked in. She clocked in, and she's cashing that check. and I like that. I'm liking Jasmine. Let's see how it goes during the season. When it comes to housewife shows, I tend to like everybody. It happens with Family Karma. It happens with Summer House. It happens with Southern Hospitality, with Southern Charm. Even though Southern Charm cast, the men are just messy in the wrong ways. But I appreciate each single cast member because it feels to me that it's more real and more I can connect in a different level with cast members from shows that are not housewife related. So go watch Summer House Martha's Vineyard. The first episode is available on Peacock now. Give it a chance. I'm telling you, you are not going to regret it. It's a fun watch. If you love Atlanta and you watch Housewife of Atlanta, it's a good follow up to it. You stay there and watch it because it's fun. It has a, to me, a very interesting, fun way to present friendships. The same way that I said about Summer House before, um, the premises of the show, it's to see friendships, you know, getting mess and have a good time and be messy and be shady and be petty, but at the same time we are in the known that they are all friends, that they might fight, but they have a good time. It just gives me old school real world, and I grew up watching those shows, and maybe that's why I appreciate non housewife shows. But that's my opinion, and like I said before, if you want to share your opinion with me, you can go to Martini with Eddie on Instagram and Twitter. And if you are enjoying this podcast and the conversation, please, 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 very important, just subscribe. Just click subscribe on my podcast on any platform that you listen to your podcast. You can find Martini with Eddie right there. You can also find me on YouTube, my YouTube channel. I do live shows like this one that you are right now, um, and then it turns into the podcast. Please subscribe also to my YouTube channel if you want to be part of the conversation as I record the podcast. I always love having everybody here. Aaron, thank you so much for always showing up. I really appreciate you so much. So, besties, like I said before, homework. Atlanta, watch and give an opportunity to Summer House Martha's Vineyard. And I'll be here talking about it every Monday because it's a great show. Okay, besties, my dudes and dudettes, is that part of the night. I truly appreciate your love and support. And like I always say, bye, besties.